Hi, this is Mrs. Oakley, and today we're going to look at Compare and Order Lesson 2. All right, on the last lesson, we talked about Hank the alligator. So remember, when Hank the alligator is facing to the left, his mouth is open to the left, we call this greater than. And when his mouth is open to the right, we call this less than. Okay. When we have this fun, I'm moving the screen. Get my highlighter back. We have this fun two bars. We call this, we all know what this means. It means it's equal to. Okay, let's move on. Now, in the last video, we talked about whole numbers. Today, we're going to look at decimals. So here's a trick that I like to do. When I'm working with decimals, I like to line up the decimals and add the placeholders in place. So what that means is it doesn't mean add these two numbers. It means to take 0.57. So I'm going to take the first one, and then I'm going to line the other decimal up. So both decimals are lined up, and I'm going to put the other numbers in place. Now, if I have a spot open behind a number, what do I have? I always have a 0, right? So I can see, here we go. The ones are the same, the tenths are the same, the hundredths are the same. But look at this, I have a 2 in the thousandths. So this one, 0.57 or 57 hundredths is less than 0 and 572 thousandths. Okay, so let's try this next one. So I'm again going to line them up. 1.14, lining up my decimals. 1.1, and I know if I have a 0 there, let's compare. Same in the ones, same in the tenths. Hundredths have a 4 over here. So this is 1 and 14 hundredths is greater than 1 and 1/10. Okay, join me on the next slide. Okay, so now that we know how to put them in, or compare them, we need to learn how to put them in order. Here's the biggest mistake I see people doing all the time when they do these. They understand which is the bigger number. They understand what is the smaller number, but they put them in the wrong order. So always look to what it says. So we're going to put it from least to greatest. And I always like to put this here, like that. So let's look at this. If I have 3, 3, 3, 3s in the ones, okay. All right. I have 1 in the 10th, 1 in the 10th. Oh, 2 in the 10th. Well, I can already tell that 2 in the 10th is the greatest. So I'm going to put 3.2 right there. Okay, so I have now 1 in the 10th. They all are equal so far. So 9 in the hundredths, 9 in the hundredths, 2 in the hundredths. So 2 in the hundredths makes it the smallest, 3.12. Now, here we have a 9 in the hundredths and a 9 in the hundredths. But behind this one is a 0, and this one's a 4. Well, 4 is greater, so I'm going to put 3.194 here. And I'm going to put 3.19 here. Okay. So I want to try this next one on your own and then come back and then see if you got it correct. Remember, pause the video. All right. First and foremost, you should have said greatest to least. So I always like to label mine greatest least. Okay. So again, let's look 5s and the 1s all the way across. Here I have a 7 in the 10th, 7 in the 10th, a 0 in the 10th, and 7 in the 10th. I already know the one with the 0 is going to be the smallest. Okay. Now, looking at this next one, we have a 7 in the 10th, 10th, and 10th. So we got to look at the hundreds. Well, behind this one, I have a 0. I have a 6. So 6 is bigger than 0. but this also has a 0, so how do I know? Well, this goes to the hundredths. Well, I know if I keep adding zeros, this one's going to be smaller than this one. So I'm going to say 5.7 is next, and then 5.701, and then 5.76. All right, great job. You are done with Compare and Order Lesson 2. Go ahead and go back to Classcraft and continue on your way. I'll see you for the next Number Sense video.